Okay, so this is for U.S. history. Now, this is the last worksheet in the series. So this is, well, actually, there's one more, but this is the last one for the Civil War itself. But it says the end of the Civil War. We're not going to stop with the Civil War at this point, but we will continue on as probably for a good portion of the rest of the year, and then go into the Reconstruction afterwards for a little while, not too much. But this is titled The End, but it's not the end of what we're going to do with the Civil War. So here's your reading and 4 questions. So the Confederate Army finally broke on April 2nd, 1865. The word reached Richmond, Virginia that lines in Petersburg had broken. Richmond would have to be evacuated. The next day, Lincoln was able to visit Richmond on April 7th. Lee's surrounding and hungry army was forced to surrender. The end came quickly. When the lines at Petersburg broke, it forced both Petersburg and Richmond to fall. Jefferson Davis was in church. When he received the message, he turned white. Lee had informed him that Richmond would have to be evacuated. The next day, President Lincoln, who had been visiting Grant, was able to tour Petersburg. He stated to Admiral David Porter, "Thank God I lived to see this. It seems to me that I have been dreaming a horrid dream for 4 years, and now the nightmare is gone. I want to see Richmond." Porter obliged and took Lincoln upriver to Richmond the next day. There, guarded by 10 sailors, he made his way through the streets to Jefferson Davis's office. He was thronged by blacks. One old lady is said to have shouted, "I know I am alive, for I have seen the Father Abraham and felt him." Meanwhile, Grant and the army pursued Lee. On April 6th, near the stream called Salo's Creek, 6,000 Confederates were captured. Finally, on the morning of April 9th, Lee and his hungry men found themselves surrounded by 5 times the number of Union soldiers. Lee had no choice. At a ceremony at Appomattox Courthouse, he surrendered the Army of the Northern Virginia, thus effectively bringing the end to the most horrible war in American history. Now, this is the last war that's fought on our own soil in the United States on the mainland. So this is a big deal. So we do not fight another war here. This also has fought the end of slavery. We're going to talk about the amendments that have to do with slavery, and then discuss what happens after the Civil War is over. Everything needs to be rebuilt. Remember how yesterday we spoke about how Sherman destroyed the South? Lincoln is going to have to rebuild all of that, or the government's going to have to rebuild all of that, and that is called Reconstruction. That is Reconstruction of the United States as it was before the Civil War. All right, so make sure you do those 4 questions and the 3 blanks. Insert a text box and get on that for today. Tomorrow will be a makeup day. Anything you need to do tomorrow, or anything you need to finish, please do that tomorrow and get caught up. I'm not going to post anything new tomorrow. All right. Thank you. See you tomorrow.